Hi everybody, my name is Miranda, and this little video is to introduce you to an idea that I hope you'll find helpful. Friedrich Nietzsche was an atheist. He was a critic of Christianity, and yet he coined a phrase that sums up the process of change as a follower of Jesus. He said the essential thing about life is that there should be a long obedience in the same direction. Maybe you've seen the book by Eugene Peterson that had that as a title. Now, however long you've been organising your life around obedience to the teachings and person of Jesus, you'll no doubt have encountered many things that seemed at the time to knock you off course. Maybe you felt as though you keep returning to square one in certain areas of life. I know I've felt that before. Maybe you've noticed some patterns of thinking or behaviour in yourself that raise questions for you. Like most of us, you've probably had times in life where you've faced some tricky decision making. Or it could be that you've wondered if your personal life of faith was meant to feel more fulfilling than what you're experiencing. So who do you talk to about those things? Many people find it difficult to have meaningful conversations about the deeper things in life. Maybe it's because it's not always easy to find words for our wonderings and our questions. If you're lucky, you might have a close friend or a partner who you're able to talk to. I personally would find it difficult to go to my church leader or vicar unless I felt like I had a major need to talk. My stuff just doesn't seem important enough to bother them. Could be that you've got a small group that you're able to process with a bit, and that can be really helpful. And you might also be interested to know that the church does have a tradition of making someone available to talk about just these sorts of questions. So this is someone who's specially trained to know how to listen well, how to ask good questions that really open up the conversation. This is someone who has some insight into the process of Christian formation, and they can normalize the things that we're experiencing. Occasionally, they might suggest a way of looking at an issue in your life that you hadn't considered before. Mostly, they're people who are just really good at giving you space. Space to talk, to get your questions out, space to be with God, and become a bit more conscious of the ways that He is with you in all the different dimensions of life. So this particular way of accompanying someone in their journey of faith has been called spiritual direction. And most spiritual directors have a bit of a love-hate relationship with that name because they certainly don't feel that they're directing anything. The true director in this kind of a conversation is the Spirit of God. And the two people meeting and talking together are doing their best to listen to the Spirit and His nudgings during the course of their conversation. Spiritual direction doesn't have to be about anything in particular. You don't have to feel like you've got a big issue you need help with, or that you have to be struggling in your faith or anything, although of course that might be the case, and that's fine too. It's really just about creating a venue where you can talk about your life in ways that help you to discover more about how God is with you, leading you and deepening you as you follow Him. Most spiritual directors will meet with you about once a month for about an hour. And the first time you meet will just be about seeing if the two of you feel like you connect well and explaining a bit about how spiritual direction will work. Every spiritual director has their own unique style and ways of practicing. Some of them require a fee or a donation, and others are able to offer their time for free. They would explain all of that to you the first time you meet. And you might also want to ask them some questions, like whether their training had a particular flavour or emphasis, whether they're affiliated to any organisation or spiritual direction network. So if you think you'd be interested in finding out more about spiritual direction, maybe in locating a spiritual director, whether one who lives near you or one who would meet you online, then please do get in touch and I'd be happy to help. If you'd like to know more in particular about spiritual directors in YWAM, then I can let you have a list of names of YWAMers who are also trained as spiritual directors. Personally, I've just found it so helpful to have someone that I meet with regularly who's helping me to reflect on what's going on in my life, the big stuff and the little stuff. It's helping me to grow as I become more aware of the ways God is with me, to teach me, to love me, and to make his presence known to me in my ordinary everyday experiences. I really think that you would find it helpful too, and if you've got any questions, then please do get in touch.